So who did you look up to? How did you find self-improvement?
Oh man, age 20, 21. Literally slowly lost all of my friends, smoking weed every day, and got like closer and closer with a girl, like toxic relationship, who she was like a girl I used to hook up with in university when we would go to clubs and everything, and end up living with her. Which, bro, when you're 21, moving like full on signing the apartment contract to move in with a girl, bro. We're together 24/7, smoking weed every day, and I turn into just a waste man. I'm literally just waking up, and I swear to God, I wake up and start smoking all day.
That's what I was at the same phase when I was 21, but it was pandemic, so I think it was kind of like there's nothing else to do. And I was in New York, and she was paranoid, and she was 5 years older, so she was kind of leading the relationship. So yeah, just wake up, get high, watch the fucking movie, just wait for the quarantine to be over. And me not taking action and everything like that. I don't say it was her fault though, but yeah, I moved in with her. I did the same thing. Was it that during the pandemic for you?
Just before. But it's interesting that both of us have had this experience. And looking at it from like the outside, it's almost like you're living like such an ideal male life. If we just gave like the objective facts, oh, like, yeah, we've got girlfriends, we're living with them, we're smoking weed, we're eating pizza, we're having sex. The majority, I think 90% of guys would have traded places with us, but at least for me, bro, I felt like shit, and I'm guessing you felt the same way. It's lacking purpose, lacking mission, lacking goals and fulfillment, and the work that we're doing here it makes you a shell of a man.
Yeah, I would say for a long time I talked about having no purpose and being nihilistic and not having a sense of direction. There was like a phase of like 2 years. And I know like a lot of people miss the main channel videos. I have one coming out on Friday, this big documentary. Anyway, I talked a lot about missing a sense of purpose or sense of direction. I made this video making fun of astrology girls, and then I talked about how I don't know everything. But I'll find my purpose eventually. I'll talk about it. I made videos about nothing happens for a reason. I made even this video on my second channel called I Don't Care About Anything. But now I think I found God, and I'm not really sure exactly what that is. I don't like the idea of God being a man. I think that it doesn't make sense personally that a God would have a gender. But I think God is love. God is everything positive. God is just everything good about the world. And it's a belief. It's a greater purpose. It's what happens before and after we die. It's whatever controls things. It's karma. That's what I think God is. And finding that helped ground my sense of purpose, and also really try to, I have a lot more attention on my shit. Like when we had the beef, I was getting like 1,000 viewers per stream, and now it's 10x. And so now it's like, okay, not only should I just be on here entertaining, but there's a greater responsibility too, because you could see the road that a lot of young men could take. They could follow the wrong people online. They could follow the wrong YouTubers and get clouded in a bunch of bullshit. And so I shouldn't just be on here entertaining. I should try to tell, it's not just young men watching. I got everybody, but like for the young men watching, you can help them out. You can really steer them in the right direction. I see you doing that and I admire that.
Thank you. Well, I said it to you too in the video I made about you. I said that you've got to understand you're an influence. I don't think you realized it at the time. I think you maybe slightly were underestimating yourself to at least what I and some others were seeing. You had a huge audience, and it's even grown further. You're an influencer, not the cringy sort of like fake lip, what's that, lip filler kind of influencer of like, oh, I buy my product or some shit. Like a real influencer, like a role model for these young men. And the message you're sending out now, what's interesting is that you said that word responsibility, like you feel like you've got a responsibility now. And recently you've been talking so much about masculinity and, feminine men being weak. And that's something that both of us are really like thinking and talking about. Well, the number one way to become more masculine for yourself is to take responsibility of others. And that's what you're doing. And that's why you feel like so purposeful. That's why you probably feel like so much more like right, so much aligned with your mission. You feel almost in a weird way, even though you're probably working long hours, longer than you've probably ever done before, you probably feel more free.
Yes, because I'm not chained down by the rules that society's putting up in front of me. I think it's a greater purpose, and that is the purpose. I think I found it. Like for a long time, I was like, I don't know what it is, but now that I have found it, it is freedom, because that's ultimately what you're supposed to do as a man: is provide and spread knowledge and just all that Adonis stuff. I hate talking about it, but I'm not good at talking about it. You're better at that. Like I cringe when I start saying it. I just want to like crack jokes and stuff like that. And my natural thing is, as soon as I start being like, yeah, we just need to be better, and just you could do it every day, I'm like, fucking F word. Like I just wanted like shut up. Like just calling it. It's just calling it gay. Like that's what's I like. Just shut up. I could hear someone else. I imagine myself at like a lunch table, and then someone else like, shut up.
I like it, man. Honestly, I loved speaking like this. I even found when I was like 15 years old, I was still speaking in the same way when I was speaking about like video games, and I was telling my friends, we can do this, we can hype up, like we can win against these guys on RuneScape or some shit. And then when I turned like 18, I'm hyping up my friends to go to the gym, and now I'm doing it on this like broad spectrum. I've loved speaking like this, man. I've loved like inspiring people.